My name is Ray. I work in the movie business since about 30 years. I worked on some of the biggest movies and on the biggest music videos, and we were shooting all over the globe. I fell in love with this traveling and became a travel junkie. So now I'm going to take you with me and we'll enjoy together the most beautiful places in this world. In this shows, we're gonna go and check out the Baltics, the countries along the Baltic Sea, which is actually just an arm of the Atlantic. First, I'd like to take you to Helsinki, the capital of Finland. Starting way up north and work our way down south, we go across the Baltic Sea on a ferry into Estonia, where we're gonna visit Tallinn. Next stop will be Riga, with some of the most beautiful beaches in Latvia. Then we keep going south into Lithuania. We go a little bit inland this time with the capital of Vilnius. We're gonna check out Kaunas. Nobody knows about Kaunas. You'll be surprised. And then, of course, again, the beaches. Then we're gonna keep going down south to Poland. And we'll start out in Warsaw. We make our way over to Gdansk, enjoying the three beaches around Gdansk. We're going to end up our Baltic Sea trip in Krakow because it's one of the most visual, beautiful cities, especially Old Town of Krakow. Affordable, few tourists. So I'm going to take you there. Come with me. Okay, we start up with Helsinki. I arrived there and took a train from the airport to the city. A very beautiful train, only a couple bucks. It takes about 30-40 minutes. You know, Helsinki, everybody will know that it's the capital of Finland. But did you know that it's also voted the happiest country in the world? I didn't know, but we will find out. So I went to the Airbnb, and it was a room in an artist loft, fantastic location, and I already was the happiest people in the world. It also included a bicycle. And I would recommend on all your travels, rent a bicycle or get a bicycle for a day or two to see more, to get around more. It's cheap, it's healthy, and it's basically for my travels a must. So I'm hungry, taking the bicycle to the harbor, and there are these fantastic food stands. You get an incredible variety of seafood and any fish you ever heard of, but also like reindeer, elk, venison, rabbit, wild boar, all made there right in front of your eyes. And you take it, sit down on one of the tables and have a fantastic lunch or even dinner. I went there for dinner a couple times because it's so much cheaper than going to a restaurant. Let's be honest. Finland is maybe the happiest country in the world, but maybe also one of the most expensive countries in the world. So with me, you're in good hands to stay on a good budget. Having the bicycle, you can venture around, and I drive into the city. I went to the place where the cathedral is. The cathedral is one of the landmarks of Helsinki, and it was built 200 years ago. Incredible. Everybody is taking photos. Going further into the city, you see it's one of the most modern and advanced cities in Europe. You can find lots of statues and art and monuments in the city. There are lots of high-end shopping streets, which is nice to look at, but we're on a budget here. We don't need to go in one of those high-end stores. Helsinki has lots of nice, beautiful parks. People just love to hang in the parks. You get ice cream everywhere. The summer is almost over, but everybody still lounges in the lawns, making picnic, bringing their own food. The one thing you have to be careful if you bring your food into those parks is the attack of the seagulls. I saw it with my eyes when a bunch of seagulls came down on the picnic food of 3 or 4 girls, which jumped up screaming and had no chance against the seagulls' attack. who pretty much took away all their lunch. So watch out when you have picnic in Helsinki's parks. The seagulls gonna come for you. If you don't bring your picnic to the park, there's so many coffee houses around it, you can't do wrong. Right there next to the harbor is this great restaurant with a Ferris wheel, and they have pools there where you can lounge in a lounge chair, go swimming and do your laps, and then go up to the coffee house, have a little beer maybe, or a nice little snack. I still recommend those food stands in the harbor though. So I took a ferry to one of the islands. I think that island was housing the zoo, and a bunch of sailors came with me. So it was actually fun because they started to sing a little bit, and it was already 9:30 at night. I think it was the last ferry. Couple bucks, and you see the city on the skyline of the city. You see the different islands you pass with the ferry, and the mood was beautiful because the sun was already very low. By the time I came back on the boat to the harbor, it was already 11 o'clock at night. It seems like the sun never really goes all the way down. It might, but it never gets all the way dark. And it comes back up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30. You see beautiful little islands with 1 or 2 houses on it. Not a bad idea to have a little house on one of those beautiful islands, but I don't want to really know what to do there in winter. It might be a little bit too cold for me. In winter, the sun probably is only up for a couple of hours, and so you in the darkness on the island. It's so beautiful what you see from these little ferries going around in the waterways around Helsinki. And it's so much cheaper than going on a tourist boat with a bunch of tourists, which charge you a lot more money. It's so beautiful, especially at that time of day. You see the sun going down. It's probably 11:30 at night. Pretty incredible. So I got up early in the morning, which was about 9 or 10 o'clock, because you stayed up all night pretty much. And driving with the bicycle through the city, it was beautiful. Hardly anybody around. It was like a ghost town. Only a few other people. It's that time of year where everybody's taking it easy. So somebody pointed out a pretty famous restaurant that's been around for a long time, and they had elk or rabbit sausage, was really good, bread, and I had to go in and try it, and it was really good. And very old established restaurant. So the sausage was crazy good. I couldn't resist to look at the menu again and saw this fish dish. I had to have it. This was a bit of a splurge for me, but worth it. Here we go. The real deal neighborhood restaurant. It's been around since 1939. Very exotic, fantastic. So Kannas was that recommended restaurant, and I had the elk sausage and that incredible fish dish, and tasted a couple different beers, Finnish beers, all good. The bill was about 32 euros. Okay, this is pretty much it for Helsinki and Finland. Time to head to Tallinn, the capital of Estonia. So I went a little earlier, and the ferry terminal was nice. You could eat off the floor, it was so clean. I got on the ferry very early. It was incredible. It was one of the biggest ships I've ever been on. And I had no idea what was coming up on that ship. I'm seeing over 2,000 people filing in on this ship, which was very, very big. It wasn't expensive for what you got, which were coffee places, bars, dance floors, bands playing, areas where people just lounging. It was the party boat. And I guess that's one of the reasons why there were so many people. They go there to get wasted because it's so much cheaper than on land. I guess the beer is like 5 times cheaper than if you would have it in Helsinki. So you just go on the boat to party. You go over to Estonia and you might not get off the boat, and you wait it out and come back to Helsinki, make it a nice day trip. Have as much partying as you want for a lot less if you would do it on land. Finally, we arrived in Tallinn, the capital of Estonia. Some stayed on the ship, kept on partying, but a lot of people got off the ship and ventured into the city. Okay, that's it for our trip through Finland and Helsinki and crossing the Baltic Sea. I'm looking forward to taking you to Tallinn, the capital of Estonia. In our next episode, please join me, because you're gonna experience something you probably never experienced anywhere else than in Tallinn.